Are the panelists able to type in the chat box? Hmm.
Dr. Nat eyes look like they were going to the right, so I was like, don't ask that. And it's looking like, don't ask me that.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. All right, so it is Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, and we are starting our show at this particular point.
Yeah.
And we have two sisters and a brother. So we have Cheryl Lynn, who's decided to change her name this week from what it was last week. And we have Andrea, and I'll put in here just so I think it will show up in the chat on YouTube. Just one second, if I can do this right. Here we go. One second. So the people may want to call in. Where that went to.
Oh boy.
All right, so we'll leave that alone. All right. So if anyone wants to be part of the conversation, if you could raise your hand at any particular point, that will let us know that you'd like to join. Then we'll send you a request to join as a panelist. You just need to accept it. So, Cheryl and Andrea, what has been on your mind? What's on your mind today?
Go ahead, and Andrea.
I don't really have anything special on my mind today. Just, just taking it easy, getting some stuff done. Took a long walk today to Coles with my dog. But nothing special. Nothing to report. I may have some stuff to report next week, but right now we are not reporting anything from the news desk.
All right.
Wow.
Cheryl.
Well, I'm just thinking about, what the relationship podcast will be speaking about today. That's about it. Other than that, I'm in good spirits and I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So focus that we wanted to concentrate on
Well,
today.
how about you, Dr. Williams? Do you have anything to, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Anything to report?
Nothing to report, and I'm feeling just fine. And I sincerely appreciate your interest in how I'm doing. It means the world to me.
You're welcome.
That you have asked.
That is so nice.
That was very nice of you.
Thank you.
That was perfect.
It took every fiber of my being to.
You did very good. Wasn't like you.
Very well.
You're getting better.
It took every fiber.
So I just posted something. I posted it to you, Andrea. So I'm gonna post it to everybody. All right. So please let us know if you'd like to join. So we thought it would be a good idea to talk this week about navigating close relationships and really understanding the difference between relationships that are assigned to us and ones that we choose. And I guess the question is there a difference between the two and how we handle them? So what are your thoughts about navigating close relationships? Is there any difference as opposed to just casual, sometimes what you consider to be an acquaintance, but when the person's a little bit more closer to that, what are some of the considerations that are different because they're close rather than an acquaintance? Cheryl, Andrea?
That part you said, they either assigned to you or what else? Dr. Williams? Chosen. Okay. Right. So in my family relationships with my family members, those who have my blood and those who are very close to me, whether they have my blood or not, in my family, I feel that those people were assigned to me. And my chosen relationships are relationships that I choose. And that's mostly, with my friendships outside of my family, my friendships. I'm particular about who I would like to be friends with, and whether the relationship is working for the both of us as far as the friendship. And just making sure that everything is being reciprocated. So that's how I feel about that, the chosen and the assigned. So when you say that, I think of those two words and how I would navigate in my relationships that are close to me.
And I want to ask you a question. I know how close you are to Andrea, but if you and she's a sign,
Yes, she is.
yeah, we need to talk to the person who assigned her to let them know.
You got a good, yeah, you got top dog assignment right here.
Yeah, that, and
Oh
we
my
like
gosh.
we
I
want to
didn't.
understand.
You came across so serious. I thought you really was gonna drop one of
No,
your strong jewels.
no, 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 no,
We thought
not
you was gonna spit today. You ain't spitting
Yeah,
today.
not
yeah,
spitting,
you.
not spitting. I've drunk some water, so I'm not going to spit.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so my
Yeah.
question, Cheryl
Mm,
Lynn,
mm.
is that if you subtract Andrea as an assigned person, how are you closer to the assigned people or chosen people? If you take Andrea out of it, because we know you guys are tight, but when you look at your other relationships, are you closer to chosen people or assigned people?
I would say chosen.
Chosen.
Excuse me.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
there's an order.
Okay.
And you're out of order right now, Andrea. I was talking to Cheryl Lynn.
I
Who's
know.
it?
Well,
Okay.
I speak for sometimes.
No, that's the problem. You're the baby here, and you need to
All right,
The
go ahead, Cheryl. Answer
chosen,
the question.
the chosen, the chosen. I
why
find that some of my chosen relationships have maybe been in my corner more than my assigned,
wow.
taking Andrea out of the equation.
Right. Which she should be. All
And
equations should have her.
it's my only sister
Right.
from the same mother. I look at some of my friends, a very few, small circle, as my sisters, but
Mhm.
everyone knows that Andrea is my blood sister. I think I got in trouble for this statement
Oh yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
I
was
got in
right.
trouble for the statement,
I was
but
right there. Yeah.
yeah, and
It is what it is.
it is the truth, and that's just what it is. It really is, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but Andrea is my only blood relative sister. We have one sister each. So I think that also, as another thing, looking back when I was younger, I prayed for a sister. When Andrea came, I was the only girl. So I really prayed for her. I took to her. I wanted to
Let me
do
ask
everything.
Cheryl, let me ask you a question. Are you now mad at God for what you prayed?
She praises God every day for this gift.
Yes. No,
No.
I'm not mad at God. I'm very grateful that he brought me a sister. And I know Nathaniel really on his honest and serious side, sisters and brothers is all different type of, emotions and trauma we've been through, attitudes we take on. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that God assigned Andrea to me.
Mm.
I am. And I'm very grateful and I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's
Andrea,
sweet.
You're welcome.
your thoughts about chosen versus assigned relationships for you?
I think what Cheryl, I'm gonna agree with her that sometimes the chosen relationships can be just stronger than the assigned relationships. Sometimes the chosen relationships go through the hardships of life with you, is somebody you confide in with. Those are usually the friends that just kind of just are always there through the ups and downs. So sometimes no relationships get a little bit stronger because as family, they'll get their own family and they'll move on and they'll go do other things, where sometimes those chosen relationships, regardless to what, they're right there with you.
But do you think that this is an indication of the stress that families are under? that we don't do a better job of supporting each other? Do you think it's
I think it comes from the foundational. I think it depends on how you were raised. Sometimes people are raised in a household where there's conflict, and they're able to fight one another and disagree, and there's a lot going on. And I think sometimes when you have families that um, are kind of based on those type of environments, it's very hard for them to keep those close relationships as they get older. It's basically like, oh, that's the person I live with. I'm going on with my life right now. I really didn't like him anyway.
hmm,
Mm.
So it has a lot to do with how you were raised. I think one of the things that my mother did, and we definitely had some turmoil in our house, but one of her things was that you weren't allowed to hit the other person. So it wasn't really any much physical fighting going on because she just was really adamant about that. And she thought that by doing that, it would teach us not to ever go against the other person. We will always look out for your brother or sister no matter what, whatever they went through or whoever was after them, you were right there beside them. So she felt like if you don't hit one another, then when you got older, you would defend them.
and
I think
And
did you find that worked or
I think
not?
it was true. I think, even with the stuff that we go through, I would be there at in a moment's notice for any one of my brothers or sister, no matter what. And I think that had a lot to do with how she raised us. Like that's still your brother or that's still your sister. So I mean, there was other things that went on, but when it came to that, she was just adamant. Like she would tell my brother, go and get your sister, but don't put your hands on her.
exactly. And
So
I agree with that, how mom did that. I really did, Andrea. And it also kept me, you know, the alternative lifestyle that I led years ago. I always came back to look out for my family. I
Mm,
yeah,
always came in to what can I do? How can I help? I always came back, and I think that had a mom raising us the way she did that played a great part in that. Like before I do anything, I have to go back and make sure Andrea is good and Leon is good and Perry is good and mom is good. I have to reach back no matter where I'm getting it from. To me at that time, it didn't matter, but I always go back to make sure
yeah,
that you guys were okay as well.
yeah,
but one of the things I keep hearing you both say, well, I hear the absence of the father. I hear the absence of a man in the equation, and his impact on your family structure and supporting the assigned relationship. So, what do you think of the consequences of the absence of, you're telling me what mom told you, but
hmm
I'm not hearing mom and dad.
Well, I think for me, my father actually lived in Harlem, so I still had a relationship with him, and he had another son. And again, it was the same thing, look out for your brother. So even when it comes to my brother through my father's side, we have an extremely close relationship. And he wasn't raised in a household with me, but he was raised around the rest of my siblings. Like he was one of the people that lived in the household.
Mhm.
Um, so I never looked at him any differently. And to this day, I will look out for him just as much as I would look out for Perry or Leon. So um, I feel like it was still instilled in me to make sure that you look out for family.
But I guess my question's a little different in that is, do you think do you think you're paying a consequence or a price for the lack of a father in the house? Not
Oh,
that he was in
sure.
this,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
not that he was in the same city, but he wasn't in the same.
House.
Yeah. Yeah, there definitely is some consequences when you don't have that other figure in the household. It affects you financially. It affects, some of the decisions you'll make. So yeah, it's a huge impact when it's one person doing a job of two. We've always spoke
But
about that.
Cheryl, do you think there's an impact on your present day relationships of the missing father?
Well,
And what?
I don't know if I thought about that, but I know that my father passed on when I was very young. I lived in a household with my sister, my brothers, my mother, and Andrea's father. And so I did have that in, like I say, 9 years old to 12 years, 11 years old. I lived in the same household with Andrea's father for 2 years. I just felt like I was safe around him, and that he was there for my mother, and he was there for all the kids, including Andrea at this time. I
But
never
Cheryl,
think about how.
you're acknowledging a 2-year run. A
So what you
2-year.
trying to say? My father ain't do a good job.
Yeah,
You better pipe down, Dr. Williams,
that's the
right? But we
only.
in this podcast a little
Yeah,
early. Stop talking
yeah,
about my father. Stop
that's right.
talking about my father, right?
That's
He's
the
95
only
and he still
father
can get it in.
figure
I will
that I
drive him up to
saw.
your house. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Don't worry
That's
about
what.
my impact. Okay.
Yes, Andrea's father was the only male
Exactly.
that I lived in the house with,
Yes.
along with my mother.
Mhm.
After the death of my father, no other man
Trying to get my
was
sister to say
present
something about my
to
father.
have
You
any
gotta watch
input
him.
on
You gotta
raising me.
watch him. You gotta
Yeah.
watch him. He trying to get you
Okay.
to say something negative about my
I'm not
father.
going to say anything
That's
negative
right.
about him
I will
because
shut this podcast down tonight.
yeah. I'm not going to say anything negative because I
But
don't
what
have
Your
anything
father
negative to
wasn't
say.
around. You know, what's
yeah,
the impact?
my point is 2
hmm
years is a very short stint to have a great impact.
But it
He
would
was
seem
in
like a
he was in the
long time to
military.
a young girl. I'm
hmm
like 9 years
He was in the
old.
military. He was
Bro-
fighting the
the,
war. He was fighting for his country. Thank
the
you.
Harlem Police unit, right? Of the
Yeah, exactly. He was
Don't
at
try to
war.
diss Mr. Royal.
No, I'm not.
Don't.
I'm just
Okay.
saying that I think often we have a gap in coverage, and I
Mhm.
don't think we realize that we didn't show the gap we had in coverage
Yeah.
as we get older.
Mhm.
So,
My gap came at 11 years and up.
Next
right,
question.
you don't want to stick
Oh.
with the gap.
Try to roll up on my father.
Oh my Lord. No, I think he did the best he could with what he had. So,
You're right.
That's
I
what,
think he
yeah,
did.
he did the best he could with the tools he had.
That's right. And
I
he
know
didn't
he
do
was.
I mean, he didn't do, honestly speaking, he did the best he could with the tools he had. My father, unfortunately didn't know his parents. So
mm,
I could imagine what that is. Well, I can't imagine what it is to not know either one of your parents. And so I think for him, he really didn't know how to provide me with all that love and nurturing and things that I
mm,
probably needed because what does that mean?
wow. All right, so we have a guest that'd like to say something. So who's this? Unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, how are
Hello.
you? Hey, what's your name?
My name is Robin Henry.
Oh, okay. We don't do last names.
Oh,
Shut
Yeah,
this
well,
show
I'm
down.
Robin.
yeah. Robin, I'm gonna ask you to accept to join as a panelist. So if you can do that, uh,
Oh,
hold on a second.
Oh
You can
God,
be
I need a
you're gonna be
drink.
promoted to a panelist. You have to accept it, Robin.
Okay.
Hold on. This is probably
Mm,
about the
mm,
biggest
mm.
mistake we've ever goddamn made.
Ugh. Oh my God. This is water. I wish it was some. It needs to be
Yes.
Her
straight
phone is
vodka right
muted
about now.
again.
All right, Robin, you have to open your microphone and your
Hold on to your
camera.
seats.
Yeah, buckle up.
Buckle up, folks.
Okay, your
She
microphone.
she hung up. Okay.
Oh, no,
No,
she's there.
she didn't.
Mm.
She's there. She is. You want to open your camera, Robin, or you want to just? Oh, look at that.
Hi,
Okay.
yeah.
Robin.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Hold on a second.
Oh
Hold on a
my
second.
Hi.
God. We're
Hold on a
not
second.
doing it. This
Wait,
ain't that
hold on
kind
a
of
second.
program.
Hello. No, with these shows,
Hi.
we have either people being arrested by police, or now we have someone calling from the. Where are you at?
I'm in the hospital.
Oh my Lord. Are you okay?
I guess until yeah.
Okay.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
But are you
Well,
okay? Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
it's good to see you.
Yeah. It's good to be seen.
Seriously. I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
All
You're
right. So
amongst the
don't
living, so
don't
you're
you know
doing good.
these wires coming out of every orifice of
Yeah,
your body? Don't
that's
worry
just a
about
normal
that.
Thursday for
It's
us.
irrelevant.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't you
Don't
didn't
even
shock
pay it
us
no
with that.
mind.
Don't
Don't
pay it no
even
Don't
pay
pay
it
mind.
it
no
no
Okay.
mind.
mind. Mhm.
All
And
right.
the blood squirting out your ear.
Yeah. It's so silly.
Oh my God. But Robin, your thoughts, even though you're going through some stuff here, it shows you're a real
Oh,
trooper. What are your
um,
thoughts? What are your thoughts about what we were talking
okay. When you said, okay, about like I'm closer to relationships that are, what's the difference?
Chosen and
Assigned.
assigned.
Chosen. My assigned relationships are so distant. It's like my assigned relationships, it's like no one wants to connect.
Wow.
Yes, and it's so hard because I make the effort to, I initiate the phone calls. I try to get us together, and it's like they don't. They're so close. Like, we're staying here on our side. We don't want to be bothered with you. And so, I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it. Like my sister that lives right here in Florida. I know I cursed her out, but
Oh,
Yeah, that wouldn't cause any problems. Yeah.
It
no, it
wasn't
caused a
that bad,
problem.
right?
But
Yeah, it's
the
not that
thing
bad.
is, let me tell you, someone comes around you and you see that they're so closed that they don't even want to sit and converse with you. I mean, my sister has not one time sat down to try to talk to me. She just comes to like have fun at my house and just enjoy herself, and that's it, or see what she can get, and that's it. Other than that, it's like you never sat down and tried to talk, and I told her, you don't know me.
Right. So it
So,
seems,
you
so
Go
don't
Robin,
know
ahead.
me.
so Robin, it
Try to
seems,
get to know me.
yeah. So it's Robin, it seems like what's happening there is transactions,
Mm.
not a relationship, but you're just transacting.
Exactly. Transactions. Let me
Mm.
get what I can, and that's it. And so, and it's so hard. And that's one of the reasons is because when I was younger, one of the things I used to do to show them that I loved them was always give them something.
Mhm.
I always would give them, well, here, I don't have time for you, but here,
You can have
I
this.
want you to know that I do love, and that was my way of showing that I love them
But hold on a
because
second.
of my
But
lifestyle.
hold on a second, Robin. If that's how you groom them, that's how you set it up. Why are you upset now? You set it up
I'm not
early
really
on.
upset.
Well, I'm saying, why will you complain now? You started the transaction stuff way back in the day, and so why are you
Well,
surprised?
I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I
Mhm.
didn't actually know that I was grooming them. And I thought they were matured. They matured to a point where they saw better than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did, but they didn't. They really didn't. I was, and I was the one who grew and matured, and now I see what has happened.
Wow.
Mm.
But they
Mm.
still don't, and they're stuck. I mean, stuck on dumb,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just
But
horrible. The
there's
relation.
yeah, there's a part of me that feels like we're all created differently. And so not every sibling or not every family member is going to handle every situation the same or treat you the same. Sometimes you have family members that are, maybe more spiritual. So every time you get on the phone with them, they're talking about the Bible and God. And maybe that's as far as that relationship is supposed to go. You can still love them and they can still love you, but I don't think they're meant to give you everything that you need. So you saying like, well, hey, I want her to sit and talk to me. Maybe she looks at you and you're gonna have a relationship with her. Like, this is my sister, and we're gonna have a good time. My sister loves to party, and this is the extent of our relationship. You may want more, but maybe you can get that more from someone else. Like I have 5 close girlfriends, and each one of them are different in their own way. And I
Mhm.
love them all. I love them all the same, but they give me different things that I need from them.
But if you have never really met your sister, it's like you really never knew her. You would want to have a conversation.
Yes, you definitely
You
would want to have a
understand,
conversation.
right? But it's none there. Nothing. You go or you come, you eat, you run around the house, and you're in the mirror. It's like everything you do to avoid me.
Mm. Let me ask you a
Mm.
question. This is a question that will possibly require a little vulnerability, but how do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? That they're interested in everything that you have, but not interested in you.
Makes me
Yeah.
feel that I'm not
Worthy?
how can I
Important.
say this? Yeah, worthy of their interest. Uh,
Mm.
it's what I have is more important.
Mm.
Things are more important than the person.
So let me ask you to think about something, Robin, is, maybe, talking it may be a challenge, but I would ask you to think about, putting something together, whether it's your spoken word, whether it's a poem, whether it's a song, whether it's just something that can communicate, what you're feeling and what you're desiring. But I
Do
wouldn't
you
give
really
up.
want me to put you now?
Not
Yeah,
right
this
now
is a
though. As
real
Dr.
this is a
Nathaniel, do
real
you really a
podcast.
song?
A
long as you
song,
don't
a
start singing right
spoken
now, we
word.
good.
Oh,
He
Oh
Jesus.
named
God.
several things.
I
My
love
name
this.
is Robin.
I,
I
yeah,
don't play no games.
Yeah. I love that song by Olita Adams called, it's called Get Here, which basically says, I need you to get here by any way you can. So
Hmm.
I think you want to declare what you're looking for, because I think Rob and I, having known you a little bit, you're a tough cookie, and I think people think you don't need what everybody else needs. They think you're just operating at a whole different level. I think they may be surprised to realize how vulnerable you really are.
Yeah, I believe that as
They don't
well. I think
they
that
don't
they
know
do.
me.
All
Yeah.
right, they
But
don't know you, and they never got it. They never
they
have
not
the
and
interest,
they're
as
not
you said.
trying to know me.
But they
But
have assessed. They have assessed your stability as the most important thing, and that you don't need anything else because you have everything. They're not looking at the time spent talking to my sister, maybe going down there to help her out, to spend a day with her. That's not what
Exactly.
they're looking at. They're only looking at the things that you have. So that's what that is. So, and with them looking at that like that, they're never going to see that you are not concerned about those things. You are concerned about having a relationship.
Hold on a second. Two things, Robin. One is, I believe very firmly in this statement. You got to teach people how to treat you.
I was just it
Uh,
just stole my thunder.
okay.
Mm.
So thunder gone. So what I wanted to pick up on, Robin, you seem like you have some tears in your eyes. What's that
I
about?
do.
Mhm.
Just to think, I'm laying in the hospital right now and I
Right.
cannot call my sister.
Mm.
I
But
cannot call her.
why can't you? Why can't you
And
call her?
she has me blocked.
So then let
She has me
like that.
blocked.
Right. So like Dr. Williams says, let someone carry your water. So you give her number to someone else and you say, hey, please reach out to my sister. Sometimes you need a middle person because we've done so many
My
things to
husband
that
has the
family.
number. He has
Oh,
the number and he said today, he said, I'm letting you know I'm gonna call caller. And I
good.
was like, okay, I don't know if he did because everything got thrown off. I just came to the hospital to
But see the
for
Robin,
one thing, and they wind
Hold
up
on,
keeping
Robin.
me.
yeah, Robin, the beautiful thing is this is going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be uploaded in about 15 minutes when we're all done. So we'll be able to
It's
send a,
good.
yeah, we'll be able to send a clip to caller and make sure that she gets the message in very, very real time. All right. So we'll check with Bob and make sure what he was able to do, but we'll get the message to her. And as Andre
Yeah.
said, let us carry the water for
Yeah. Let us
you. So
carry the water.
wipe the water out of your eyes and
Hmm.
let us carry it. That's the
Yeah.
least we can do for you.
Yeah.
And Robin, I thank you so much for being vulnerable to share
Mhm.
your story. I thank you
Yes.
for being in a hospital and calling in. Uh,
Mm.
this is special, and you are special.
Mm. Yes, she is.
You are.
Now,
Yes,
do
she
you,
is.
do you need a committee meeting this weekend?
Uh, I don't know what I need right now.
Yeah.
You need a hug?
I know one thing. I just want to thank you guys for helping me get Mo down here.
Mhm.
The help she was here at a time when I really needed her.
Good.
Mhm.
I didn't expect to. I came here for one thing. I was supposed to come and leave, and my potassium level was so high, they
Mm,
they wind up keeping me.
okay.
But
Yeah,
they'll get,
so
but they'll get it under control, and you're in the
Yeah.
right
yeah, it's
place.
gonna be under control tomorrow once I do dialysis. I couldn't do
Okay.
dialysis yesterday because of my graft was clogged. And I
Oh,
came to
Okay.
get it unclogged, and they was like, "Oh no, we can't do that." They said they didn't want to do it because my potassium's so high and it could mess with my heart.
right. All right, but you're in the
Yeah.
right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll check on you later, just to make sure you're doing okay.
All right.
All right. Love you dearly, and
Thanks.
thank you.
We
We
Thank you.
love
love
you.
you, Robin.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks.
Sure. All right. Is anyone else? I think my daughter Jeannie said that she was going to chime in here. So Jeannie, do you want to say something here? You're gonna have to open your microphone. I see Alexandria, Andrea's daughter. I don't know who Amber is. I think I know who this is. Big O.
Amber's Alexandria's friend.
Okay, and Francine, and then I see my favorite nephew Neil on the phone as well.
Come on in.
So any of you want to talk? Hey, Jeannie, how are you?
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Hi, Jeannie.
you're on the
Hi.
contact. I'm going to try to promote you to guest.
Oh
So
my gosh. Okay.
okay, it's coming. Okay, she's going to be joining.
We
So
are
this is
family.
my oldest daughter, who is a nurse in California, and thinks that she's moving back home. But we're going to break her the bad news that we set the house
Beautiful.
on
Look at
fire.
you, Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
And there's all these
Hi.
and there's all
Hi,
these and there's
Cheryl.
all these boxes. There's all these boxes that have started being delivered here that are piling up in my garage. They were affected by the fire as well, Jeannie. So just so you know.
What fire?
So Jeannie, as you were listening tonight, what was going through your mind as you were listening to the conversation?
The conversation about the chosen and the what was
Assign.
assigned.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, definitely the chosen is the ones that I have the best relationships with.
Why do you think that is? What is that about? What do you think made that happen?
Mostly because the assigned, I just kind of didn't feel like a part of that family. And then, being chosen makes you feel good. And then being able to choose your own family, you get to pick and decide, or your own people, you get to pick and decide what you will allow and what you won't allow.
And I hope you don't mind me sharing with people that Jeannie is Tade and ours adopted daughter, and I think so when she talks about being chosen in this situation, I think that's part of what she means. But I'm sure she has other more favorite chosen people than Tade.
That's not true.
Wow.
Yeah, we knew that's what you were talking about.
Wow. But when you listen to Robin and what she said, and again, you being a nurse, and you were listening to her dialogue, what was going through your mind as you were listening to what Robin had to share?
What I was thinking is that maybe sometimes family don't understand like patients, their diagnoses and the process, and sometimes it's very overwhelming. So maybe she doesn't talk to her because maybe she doesn't know what to say to her. She doesn't understand what she's going through. Like she feels like maybe there's nothing
What
that
is
she can say.
Excuse me a second.
I want to know what that is. I can't.
Yeah,
let's
it's
stop
probably
right now.
coming from your
Okay,
area,
excuse me. Yeah.
Andrea.
There's a
my dog.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
what is that?
Holy
My dog.
smokes.
She's playing with her
He
toy.
had a
I'm
goddamn baby, and
Yeah, I'm like, that's a baby's toy.
sorry.
Yeah, like what is going on? I'm like,
damn
I
I
baby.
thought Saul was playing with her toy
No,
Okay,
no.
let me
because
It's
Sorry.
Audrey
okay.
has a
No, it's
dog.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. As long as now that we don't know it's not a baby, you can show us anything. But so you were saying that sometimes as patients, people going through medical situations, sometimes
yeah. Sometimes when we see the family dynamics, it's just they're just so, they don't understand what the patient is going through, and sometimes they can't communicate with the patient because they don't know how to talk to them.
Sure. And I think also sometimes when you look at them, you question your own mortality and your own health status, and so
Definitely.
people tend to want to stay away from that. But you had also mentioned early in the week that you were going to call in. Were you calling in for any specific reason, or you wanted your 15 minutes of fame at my expense?
I just wanted my 15 minutes of fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, again, as was said earlier, I'm extremely proud of you and what you've accomplished, and I think what lies ahead in your future, well positioned. And again, I think for Tade and I, as well as your brothers and sisters, to be able to have chosen you was one of our best decisions. And what you've added to the family. My wife and I have Jeannie has a brother with autism. Who's now 18, but during those teen years, Jeannie was there for him and provided a lot of support and love, and again, that will never be forgotten. But also sitting in our living room is a picture of you and Kenya looking at each other. But there are just so many moments like that. I think if a person came in, they wouldn't know that you weren't always here. So again, I appreciate greatly you allowing us to be part of your life as well.
No,
yes. Yes.
All right.
You guys
We'll
made
let you know.
the biggest impact on my life.
Good job,
Exactly.
Jeannie. Good job.
Good job.
We'll let you go back to your baby.
Good job, Jeannie.
Okay.
Let's see the dog real
give
quick.
A shout out to my
Let's
best
see the-
friend.
Can we see the dog?
Shout
Before
out.
I click off.
What?
Jeannie,
You're trying to do a shout out?
exactly.
She's
Jeannie, they want to see.
another chosen person that I'm
Okay.
so happy that I chose her and she chose me too.
Good. They want to see. They want to see the
I
dog.
want to see the dog.
We want to see the dog.
They don't believe it's not a baby.
Oh, cute.
What's
Andrea,
your dog's name?
Her name is
Say
Dior.
hi, so.
it's
Her
Nat.
name is
Is that a boy or
Dior.
girl?
Nat.
A girl.
The girl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
she's the girl. She got
you
her
see?
little outfit on.
Do you see Andrea's dog?
Do you see so?
Yes.
They could be cousins.
Yes. That's a good
Right.
So.
Huh?
Cavapoo?
Shih Tzu poodle, a Shih-Poo.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All these things sound very expensive. That's all I.
Exactly. They are.
All right. Love you, Jeannie.
Love
Bye,
you.
Jeannie.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Love you,
Bye.
I love the show.
Thanks.
Keep it
Thank you.
going.
Thank you.
Subscribe and pass it on. Let people know.
And pass
Yes.
it on. Tell your friends.
Take care.
The
Right.
chosen ones.
Okay. So, Andrea and Cheryl, as we get ready to wrap up for our time today, I don't think any of our other guests have signaled that they wanted to talk. What are some things, Cheryl and Andrea, you want to close out with and put up our little screen in a minute or so after you share your thoughts? But Cheryl, Andrea, what's going through your mind based on what we talked about today?
Yeah, just just pay close attention to those chosen and those assigned, and do your best to work through whatever difficulties you may have in certain relationships that you chose or that were assigned to you. It's not easy for any type of relationship. It has to be a great deal of communication so that everyone is on the same page, but don't lose hope for those that were assigned to you and you feel that you're not getting any reciprocation from them.
Cheryl, 1 second. I don't know what your sister is doing, but she's doing a lot of posing that I don't know. I don't know who she's doing it for.
I'm even looking at her.
Oh my gosh, what are you talking about?
I don't know what's going on here, but trying to pay attention to you. But you know what I can do? I'll do this. I'll put her on hold. So go ahead, Cheryl. You can go ahead.
Oh my God. Where is Dree? You gotta bring her back.
I put her in the waiting room. Hold on a second.
Oh my God. Bring her back. Bring her back.
She has to rejoin. Yeah, behave yourself or you're going bye-bye. Unmute yourself. I thought she was on. Oh, hold on a second. Do I have to do something?
Here she goes.
Okay.
She's muted.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that was there, but we're not doing all that. That's not happening.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
But yeah, just make sure that you try to, work through everything. And like my sister said earlier, with the tools you have, and Dr. Williams brought that up about the assigned and chosen. And you can use those words to, further your relationships and making sure that they're tight, as tight as they possibly can be, and that's about it. And it was a good show.
Good. Thank you, Cheryl.
I think that you have to, because the assigned roles or assigned relationships are really not as close from what we gather from everybody's conversation. So I think we need to find ways to still try to build relationships and bridge those gaps with those assigned relationships. So, because those are our blood family members, right? So, and I go through that with my own family members where sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm done here. But sometimes it's good to reach out and still try to, have a relationship and a small conversation with someone. And I do have a niece that we're very estranged in our relationship. So I may do, use my own words and
Okay.
What?
Oh, we gotta slow it down here.
don't record this.
Yeah, it's too late. It's already out on YouTube and it's as we speak. So say it one more time. I want to lean in.
Lean in. No, I think what I will do is I will reach out and just say, "Hey, how are you?" and just have that conversation with that person.
Look at you. Who would have thought?
Look at God.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Won't he do it?
Oh,
Won't he do it?
So I was thinking about that because I'm very close with one of my nieces, extremely close with her. And I just couldn't imagine not having that relationship. And even when we go through changes, I always find myself still reaching out saying, "Hey, what are you doing? There's nothing that's going to stop me from continuing that relationship, even when we go through hard times." And I want to be able to afford that to the rest of my nieces, which they're not easy to do, but I don't know if we'll have that level of relationship what I have with my other niece, with one of my nieces, but even if I start that conversation, I think that's showing that I'm living by what I'm preaching in a way.
That's wonderful. And again, I'm so very proud of your ability to reflect and to take the energy to put it into that relationship, because I know how important it is to you. So I think it's wonderful. And one of the things that I would just share as my takeaway from today is that I think we're all given gifts, and we're given chosen gifts and assigned gifts, but they're all gifts. And I think often we're taking partial gifts. We're taking the chosen versus the assigned, or the assigned versus the chosen, but you were given a gift of all. And they have to be, as Andrea and I think and Cheryl alluded to, you have to unpackage them differently. And some come with different price tags and different quantities. But they're still gifts. And again, I think you also have to teach people how to treat us, whether they're assigned or chosen, but to leave it on the table, leave it on the floor as a relationship is a relationship wasted. So you just never know. But again, as Andrea has demonstrated, is just to be open. And I think also Robin demonstrated that, just be open to give it a chance and give it a try. And I think if your belief is it's going to work out, that's going to go a long way to making it happen. So, Andrea, you normally want to remind everybody how they can
Yes.
the show. So here we go.
So as always, reach out to us, contact us, hit us up on Cash App, Two Sisters and a Brother, so we can bring you more of this content. We have email here. Like us, share, comment, subscribe. Just let people know about the show and all the great things that we're doing. And if you love the show, keep coming back every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. and see what's going on.
All right. So good night.